All right, shalom, family. Shout out to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Shout out all my brothers and sisters in Yasharala. It's your brother Amatazar back with another lesson. I got my brother from another in here, man. Introduce yourself out.
Shalom, family. Shalom.
All right. And like I said, we back at you with another lesson. And today the lesson is, are we staying diligent? Because consistency is very key in this truth. And staying disciplined and staying diligent is a very big thing. And we have to make sure we stay in that spirit of discipline and in that spirit of diligence. Because if we don't, then eventually sometimes we'll fumble what we have. And this is very much so a gift that the Most High has given us. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it. Give me Proverbs 13:4.
God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 4, and it reads, The soul of the sluggard desireth, and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
So it says, the soul of the sluggard shall have nothing, and the soul of the diligent shall be fat. And that's just going into the simple fact is that we have to stay consistent in this thing. Because if you start to be slothful, if you start to weary, if you start to, become sluggish in this thing, then eventually you're going to fumble what you have, and you're not going to be able to get far in this thing. So we have to stay diligent because the soul of the diligent is made fat. Okay, because we want to make sure that the things that we're doing that they're basically beneficial to us being in this truth. And if you're not disciplined, then and you're not diligent, then it's really not gonna make a difference because you're gonna end up tiring out. You're gonna end up, you know what I'm saying? Basically, like, how can I put this? You're gonna end up falling short and way short. And I don't mean like short as far as like sometimes we might accidentally go off for something. I mean falling short of this race because in this race it's not about who comes first. It's about finishing. So we have to stay diligent so we can finish this race. Okay. Give me Proverbs 10:4.
God. This is Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 4,
Bring it
and it
out.
reads, He becometh poor that dealeth with the slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
So it says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with the slack hand." So that's just going into the to if you're being lazy, then you're not going to be able to eat. You're not going to be able to basically like have things that you're supposed to have, especially the basic necessities of being able to live. So but it also says, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. And why does it say that? Because if you stay disciplined and you stay diligent, then you're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? If you work for it and if you work diligently for it, you're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? The Bible tells us this over and over again. Stay consistent, stay diligent. And if you stay consistent and stay diligent, then you very much so will have the things that you need in life. All right. Give me Galatians 6:9.
God, Naki. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 9.
Bring that out.
And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
So that's going into my last point. If you don't weary, if you continue to stay diligent and you continue to work hard, be consistent, we're gonna reap the benefits in the end. You know what I'm saying? But we can't weary in good work. And it's truth. If you're going out here preaching this word, you're trying to edify your people, you're trying to wake your people up. This is good works. This is the work of the Most High. So these are the works where if you continue to stay diligent in this, then it's gonna pay out for you in the end. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue to stay diligent in this thing because it's gonna pay off for us in the end. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the scriptures telling us this. It says you're gonna reap if you faint not. So continue to be diligent, continue to keep going, continue to stay consistent because you're gonna reap the benefits, which is ultimately the kingdom. All right. Give me Proverbs 12:24.
God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 24.
Bring that out.
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute.
Read that again for me too, because I need y'all to really get this.
Okay, verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute.
Okay, so the hand of the diligent shall bear rule. So when you continue to stay diligent. You have to understand what's the kingdom about, us having dominion again. You know what I'm saying? So if we stay diligent in this thing, eventually we're going to be the rulers of the earth. You know what I mean? So we have to continue to stay diligent in this thing, continue to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? There's going to come seasons where, you might not be on fire as other seasons, but you know what I'm saying? We literally just had a conversation with a brother earlier, and you got to work through those seasons. You know what I'm saying? You have to work through those seasons because they're going to come. You have to rekindle that fire inside yourself, and you have to continue to keep pushing forward, because there's going to come times where you're probably not going to be as enthusiastic as you used to be. Because I'm pretty sure we all came into this truth and we were on fire. But sometimes those seasons come where we're not as on fire as we were, but then we have to work through that. That doesn't mean just give it all up. Be disciplined, be diligent, you know what I'm saying? Be long suffering, and you're going to be able to make it through that season, and there's going to come that season again where you're on fire. So let's try to stay in the spirit of being diligent, so that we can continue to move at a steady rate and continue to get better and better and better and better and better. Because if you're getting worse, then that's a big problem. You have to check yourself about that. You know what I mean? Check your spirit, because if you're not being diligent, ultimately you're going to slack off, and then that can lead to you getting out of this truth, you bugging out, or you just ultimately just giving it up because you can't handle the weight or the pressure of what it comes with. All right.
Right. And I did want to make an example of what not to do, right?
Con,
The actual opposite of being diligent. Well, not actually the opposite, but more so being diligent in the wrong things, right?
con,
So let's go to Ecclesiasticus 5, and let's see what verse I want to start at. I'll start at verse 6. Or no, I'll start at verse 5, right? Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin under sin, right? So don't add sin under sin. Don't be diligent in adding sin. You know what I'm saying?
con,
Like we should not be doing that. So if brothers are like, "Oh man, I want to break the Shabbat. I'm just gonna break the Shabbat this weekend," but then next week comes along and is like, "Oh shoot, I gotta break it the Shabbat again. I gotta work." Don't be diligent in breaking the laws of the Most High God, right? This is something that we shouldn't add sin upon sin. I just want to harp on this because brothers really have trouble with this. Even myself, I'm not perfect. So just we gotta stay diligent in the right things, right? So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
con. That's a beautiful point, because if you start to add sin into sin, what happens? Snowball effect. You just keep going downhill, 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 and next thing you know, you're out here doing Lord knows what. And then what happened? Sin bringeth what? Death. You know what I'm saying? And even sometimes it might not be death, but though you don't want the judgments of the Most High God, because you'll never know how it's coming, when it's coming, or how severe it's going to be. So let's like the brother said, don't be diligent in adding sin unto sin. All right. Give me Proverbs 22 and 29.
This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
So it says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? That means consistent in his business, hardworking. He's doing his thing. He's always on time. You know what I'm saying? He's working to get better at a steady rate. It says what? It says he shall stand before kings. You see what I mean? So when you're diligent, there's a great payout for that. You know what I'm saying? Because your hard work is going to pay off. You see what I mean? Like, your hard work is going to pay off. You know what I'm saying? The Most High told us that our labor is not going to be in vain. So we have to continue to work hard. We have to continue to be diligent. We have to continue to keep moving forward. And there's going to be things in our life that are going to happen. That are going to make us look back. There are going to be things in our life that are going to make us question certain things. But no, push that, excuse my language, push that shit to the side. You see what I mean? Because we have to keep going. We have to keep being diligent. We can't let nothing stop this diligence and this consistency, because we have to be able to make it to the end of this race. Like I said before, it's not about who comes in first. It's about who finishes the race. And the only way you're going to finish this race is if you're going to be diligent. You know what I'm saying? Diligence is a big thing, along with accountability, along with discipline, you know what I'm saying, along with faith. And it's one of those things that are key in us getting salvation. Okay, so let's remain diligent, you know what I'm saying, because it says a diligent man shall what? He shall stand before kings. All right, give me 2 Timothy 2 and 15. I'm pretty
God,
sure everybody knows this, but this is also a very great point because we have to understand that the Most High told us, He told us to do this for a reason.
God, I'm flipping. This is Second Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Okay, so it says study to show yourself approved. That means staying disciplined and diligent in your studies. Okay, that means working hard in your studies. And sometimes everybody there's but most definitely times where people could be doing more, myself included. You know what I mean? But that comes with diligence. Staying disciplined and diligent in our studies. Why? Because the Most High wants to be us a workman, okay, that needs not to be ashamed. That means when people are coming to you, asking you questions and all that, you're not confounded. You're like, oh, I don't know, because if you study, you're going to know these things. If you study diligently, you're going to know these things. That's why he said to be a workman in this, okay, because we have to be able to rightly divide the word of truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. And I brought that scripture out because it says study to show yourself approved. And I'm also going into being diligent in these studies to show yourself approved. All right. So yeah, stay disciplined, stay diligent in your studies. You know what I mean? Because that's a big part. Studying is a very big part of this thing because knowing is what? It's half the battle. All right. All right. Give me 2 Peter 3 and 14.
God, Second Peter, said 3 and 14.
3 and 14.
God, and it reads, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
Read that again for me.
God, Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
All right. So it says, be diligent. Why? That ye may be found in him in peace, without spot and blameless. Because you got to think about it. The Most High God, he sees your work. He sees how hard you're going. He sees how much time you're putting in. He sees how diligent you're being in this thing. So that's why we have to continue to stay consistent. And even when sometimes there be seasons where you're going to weary a little bit, but never fall off the track. You know what I'm saying? Never jump out the race. Continue to run the race. You know what I mean? The Most High God, He knows we're human, but He also tells us what He requires of us. So we have to be diligent because guess what? That's how you're going to see the kingdom too. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate goal. Everybody wants to get out of here. I know damn well I do. You know what I'm saying? I know my brother does. You know what I mean? So, and that's the ultimate goal, man. Let's get the hell out of here because who wants to be stuck in Babylon anymore, man? It's very old and it's very tiring. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High God has chosen this to be the generation to do what? To wake up and to be able to go out and teach. But how much is this gospel going to grow if the men that are out here that are supposed to be teaching it aren't diligent? You know what I mean? So diligence is a very big key. Stay consistent, stay diligent, and continue to chase the Most High because in the end, the ultimate goal is the kingdom, and we all want to see that. All right. Give me 2 Peter 1 and 5.
God, this is the book of Second Peter chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, and beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge.
So it says giving all faith. It says giving all diligence, add to your faith. All right, because studying is one, reading is one, keeping the commandments is one, but faith is one too. It's a very big one, and people, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes we really have to check our faith and like, are we really keeping our faith in the Most High? Are we diligent in our faith in the Most High? If something happens that might be a little bit scary or a little bit shaky, do we instantly throw out that the Most High tells us, "Hey, keep your faith in me"? You know what I'm saying? So stay diligent in being faithful. Stay diligent in having faith in the Most High because guess what? Your faith is one of your ultimate weapons in this truth. You know what I'm saying? It's one of your greatest weapons in this truth is having faith in the Most High and our anointed Savior, Yahweh Shah. So, continue to stay diligent in your faith, and to virtue knowledge because guess what? Knowing, like I said, knowing is half the battle. So always seek knowledge, be disciplined in this truth, be diligent not only in your works but in your faith in the Most High. All right.
And brother, my bad. I don't want to skip too far in the lesson, but I don't know nothing, right? How do I stay diligent in my faith, brother? I
All
don't
right.
know nothing.
So I would say staying diligent in your faith is a very big thing. Is you have to trust the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Like you really have to trust
Mm,
our God. You
right.
know, and that's a very big thing because a lot of people they go off what they can see, but there's an old saying that used to go believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. You see what I mean? So trust in your God. You know what I'm saying? Trust in your God because guess what? If you were gonna fall, you would have been done it. But that's why the grace and the mercy of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? So trust in your God. He's
Mm,
gonna deliver for you. It might not be on your timing, but it's gonna be right on time. You get what I'm
okay.
saying? So
Bet.
that's one. And two, have faith enough that hey, I'm keeping the commandments of God and I'm keeping fearing the Lord that He's gonna protect me. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna put me in the position that I need to be to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High God, one thing I can say is if you're a commandment keeper, you're a faith keeper, you're gonna be in His good graces. You see what I mean? Like, and I've seen it so many times with myself, with other brothers. You know what I mean? Once you keep them commandments and you keep that faith in the Most High God, then you're doing what He's instructing you to do. You're doing what He requires of you. You see what I mean? So have faith that if you keep the commandments, the Most High God's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna deliver from you. Have faith and trust your God that He's gonna deliver. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get you out.
Yeah. So like that's a big part in it. Trust in the Most High God. Have faith that you keep the commandments that the Most High is gonna deliver for you. All right. So while we're in that chapter, give me Second Peter 1:10. Just jump 5 verses now.
God, this is Second Peter chapter 1 and verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
All right. So stay diligent because guess what? You have to make your calling and an election sure. And it tells you right here, if you stay disciplined, you stay diligent in this thing, what happened? You will never fall. Okay. If you stay disciplined in your studies and you stay diligent in your studies and you showing consistency and you're living out the scriptures, you're practicing what you're preaching, and you really delving into the scriptures, learning and becoming studied and becoming well versed in these things, staying diligent in these things, it'll never fail. It'll never fail. The scriptures tell us that it will never fail. You see what I mean? So stay diligent, brothers, because this is the way we get out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the multiple ways we get out of here. All right. It's faith, keeping the commandments, being disciplined, being diligent. You see what I'm saying? Those are some of the main ways that we're gonna be able to get out of here. All right. So and don't forget grace and mercy too, because all of us are only here due to the Most High's grace and mercy. All right. Now give me Proverbs 11 and 27.
Con. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 27. And it reads, He that diligently seeketh good, uh, proc- proc-
Procure.
procure, so like it procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him.
All right. So if you diligently seek good, you procure favor. All right, so that's how you. When the Most High sees that you have good works, He sees that you're doing good, and then you're diligently doing good. You know what I'm saying? Not you're doing good one time, and then the rest of the time you're being bad, and then every now and then you're doing a good thing, and then you're doing bad. No, you have to diligently seek good. You see what I mean? Because if you diligently seek good, then ultimately you'll find favor. You see what I mean? But if you seek mischief, which is doing bad stuff, breaking commandments, you know what I'm saying, being slothful, doing mean and evil shit to people, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work out for you. It's really not gonna work out for you. So diligently seek good. You know what I'm saying? Diligently seek good. These scriptures that I'm bringing out, they harp on being diligent in everything that you do. Good. Be diligent in every good thing that you do because ultimately there's a reward at the end of it. And we all want to see that reward, which is the kingdom, eternal life, rulership, dominion over the world. We all want that back. That was promised to us, but we have to hold up our end of the bargain to get it. All right. So now give me Proverbs 6 and 6.
Con. And before I bring this out, is it cool if I read the definition of diligent?
Khan, go ahead.
Right. So the definition of diligent is having or showing care and conscience. Slack, yeah, slack. This is a tongue twister.
It's all
Con-
good.
conscientious, conscientiousness in one's work.
Consciousness.
Yeah, conscious slack, yeah, man. Consciousness in one's work or duties. So it's like showing like like an extreme care of something, you know.
Mhm.
So that's what being diligent is, right? I just wanted to bring out the definition because some people, you know, sometimes, you know, when you hear a word, you know what I'm saying, you just hear it, but like you don't really understand the full meaning of what it, you know, of what it is. So I just wanted to bring that out. But yeah, I'm gonna bring out the Proverbs 6 real quick. All right.
Come on, that was
Uh,
beautiful too.
yeah,
Having
yeah,
having a deep care consciousness about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying. So if we have a deep care for this truth, we have a deep, you know what I'm saying, consciousness about doing this and being consistent in this, then you're being diligent. Let's be
God,
diligent in this truth so we can get the hell out of here. All right.
God. This is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
All right, stop
Consider.
right there. So it
Uh-huh.
says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard." Now, why are the scriptures telling us this? It's telling us this. Why? Because the ant is a hard working animal. Okay, that's all their life is work, 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 all day, every day. They don't work, they don't eat. They get up every day, work, all day, work. Do they sleep? I don't know. Go to sleep, wake up, work. All right. It's just it's work all the time because they're diligent in the work that they have to do what? To uphold their kingdom. You see what I mean? So the scriptures are telling us to do what? Read.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
Consider her ways and be wise. Now, why does this tell us to consider her ways? Because the ants are hard workers. Consider those hard working ways and apply them to your life. Constantly being in work, constantly being ready to get up and get stuff done. You see what I mean? That's all the ant does all day. Is it works, 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 works. That's all it knows. That's all it knows. So the Most High is telling us to consider the ant's ways. Why? So we can stay diligent in our work and we can continue to be consistent in our work. You see what I mean? All right. Now, give me First Corinthians 15 and 58.
Okay. This is First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 38, right?
58.
58, Salakia. And it reads, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
So there's that verse. The Most High said, "Our labor is not in vain." It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, okay, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord." So you have to always be abounding in the work of the Lord every day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And I know, there's things we have to do in Babylon, working, taking care of our family. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High knows that. You know what I'm saying? He knows the predicament we're in, and we still have to feed our families and make sure our loved ones and our family straight. But stay abounding in the work of the Lord. You see what I mean? Stay abounding in the work of the Lord every day. Try to figure out some way where you can get closer to the Lord. Do what you can for the Lord. You see what I mean? Even if you're reading, studying, you know what I'm saying? The Most High is seeing that you're serious and that you're diligent about His work, and what happens, and ultimately, guess what? There, like I said, there's a reward for that. And sometimes you even get rewards in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Even as us being in our captivity, the Most High God rewards you with certain things to do what? Because it's a give and take situation. You show the fear of the Lord. You do what the Lord requires and commands of you. And He gives you something. He exalts you. You know what I'm saying? It's the give and take of it. You know what I'm saying? But we have to show the Most High that we're serious. See what I'm saying? Abounding in the work of the Lord. Okay, every day. All right.
God,
Give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 10.
God. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
So,
For the,
okay, so it says, whatever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. That means do it with everything in you. You see what I'm saying? So if you're in this truth and you out here trying to be a teacher, wake up the sheep, feed the flock. You know what I'm saying? Like you out there preaching in the highways and byways. You putting lessons online. Do that with all your might. Don't be slack doing it. Don't be lazy doing it. Don't half-ass do it. Do it with all thy might. Keep reading.
Con, for there is no work, no device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
Because once it's over, it's over. All right, you can't serve the Most High in the grave. All right, you right now you're resting, and you can't put in no work in the grave. You know what I'm saying? So you're in that rest right now. So you can't do the things that the Most High God needs you to do. So while you're here, do everything for the Most High God with all your might. All right. Now give me Colossians 3:23.
Con, this is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23.
Bring that out.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men.
All right. So it says, and whatsoever you do, do it heartily. That means do it diligently. Do it full force, 100%, nothing less. All right. Because if we're half-assed doing stuff for the Lord, how do we expect the Most High to want to really bless us, get us out of here? You know what I'm saying? How do you expect him want us to exalt us if we're half-assed doing His work? You see what I mean? It's that give and take again. Do it heartily. Do it heartily. Okay. As to the Lord and not unto men, because this is not about men. This is about the Most High. You see what I mean? So do everything you do heartily. All right. Give me Proverbs 4:23.
Con,
All right. But matter of fact, before you go there, give me Hebrews 6:11.
okay, con. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 6 and verse 11. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end.
Okay. Keep going.
Verse 12, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises.
All right. So it says, and we desire that every one of you show the same diligence as who? It says, show the same diligence to the full assurance of the end, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them. That them is the apostles. All right. It says, who through faith and patience inherit the promises. All right. So we have to show that same diligence that the apostles did. You see what I mean? Because guess what? They were still out. They were doing the work. They were walking with Yahweh Shah. You think they was able to be lazy? Absolutely not. You see what I mean? So we have to show that same discipline, that same diligence that the apostles showed, and also all the mighty men in the Bible. You see what I mean? So we have to show that same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. Be diligent in your faith. Be diligent knowing that, hey, if we keep the commandments, we keep these law, statutes, and judgments, that the Most High is going to ultimately deliver us out of here. All right. So let's keep our diligence, keep our faith, and let's stay strong in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because discipline and diligence is key. Also, faith, keeping the commandments. All right. Now, give me Proverbs 4:23.
God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
So it says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are all the issues of life. Because everything starts there. You know what I'm saying? When you about to go off, it starts in your heart. And we know the heart is the mind. All right. So it starts there. You see what I'm saying? Everything, every idea, every imagination, everything you plan on doing in life and all that, it always starts with a thought inside your heart, and then it ends up manifesting into real life. You see what I'm saying? So it says, keep thy heart diligent, which means what? Keep it in check. You see what I'm saying? You have to keep your heart and your thoughts in check, because if you don't and you let them run wild, you'll be out here doing everything and God knows what. You know what I'm saying? So when it tells you to keep your heart, it means keep your heart in check and and try your best to subdue it and have rule over it. Because if you don't, then you guess what? You're gonna be out here going off sinning, adding, like you said earlier, adding sin on top of sin, and we don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it says, keep your heart diligently. You see what I'm saying? Keep your heart in check diligently. You know what I'm saying? That means work hard every day to keep your heart in check, because everything starts in the mind as a thought, which is your heart, and then it manifests into real life. So you have to cast these evil thoughts down, cast these wicked and lustful thoughts down, and then you'll be able to overcome it. That's how you keep your heart diligent. You see what I mean? So, and all right, this is the last one I got. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Give me Proverbs 12 and 27.
God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious.
All right. So it says, a slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting. It's too lazy. You see what I mean? So that that's a very good one. But it says, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. Now, why does it say the substance of a diligent man is precious? Because it's going to show you that, hey, you get what you put out. You see what I mean? You work hard, you're gonna be able to reap good benefits, a lot of benefits. If you want to be lazy, you're gonna be slothful. Then what do you expect to get out of it? You get in what you put out. You see what I mean? So stay diligent. You know what I'm saying? The diligent man, the substance of a diligent man is precious because he's gonna have those things he worked hard for. You see what I mean? So the Most High God, he doesn't like a slothful man. You know what I'm saying? He's not dealing with that. So let's try to continue to stay diligent. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna bless the work of your hands. You know what I mean? But you have to, it's like I said, it's a give and take thing. You have to show him that there's some commitment here. You have to show him the diligence and the discipline. And you have to show him that you're being consistent and that you're really ready to take on this job that he given you, because this is a serious job, man, and it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know, it's great to have brotherhood. It's great to have brothers keeping the commandments, coming together under the law, statutes, and commandments, and loving God and keeping the feast days and all that. But this is work. You know what I'm saying? It's work, and it's very important work, because this is very important. What all this leads up to, this work ultimately leads up to what? Our salvation, us getting eternal life, us ruling. You know what I'm saying? Us having dominion. You know what I'm saying? That's a very big thing. So all while there are the good times in the truth, you know, there's those times to laugh and have fun and be merry, because there's a season for everything. But this is also work, and diligent work at that we have to be in. We have to be consistent. We have to continue to strive to get better, strive to get closer to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? We can't give the Most High nothing. The only thing we can give him is our obedience, and that's all he asks of us. You see what I mean? He doesn't ask for nothing outrageous, and like it says, his commandments are grievous. He just asks for obedience. So let's give him obedience. He demands that we be diligent, so we have to stay diligent and be diligent in this truth. Because guess what? He gave us his truth, and that's a gift. That wasn't a privilege. You know what I'm saying? He could have kept us asleep. He could have kept us spiritually dead. You know what I'm saying? But what did he do? He chose to wake us up, and he chose to put us in this thing and use us as vessels for his will. So take honor in that, obey the Most High, listen to what the Most High tells you to do, and ultimately we're gonna be able to get out of here. All right. So I hope you guys were edified through the Spirit. I give all glory, honor, and praises to the Most High God Yahweh, and His Son, our anointed Savior Yahweh Shai, and I say Shalom.
Shalom, fam.